it's kind of like a shot of tequila. It kind of loosens you up.
Yeah, kind of get going. Yeah, that's what I felt like. I wanted it serious, but kind of like a little punk rock too.
Yeah.
So, well, we are actually live here now on the LA Shoulder Podcast, 11th edition.
We're live.
Like we were talking about before.
11th edition is a good number.
Yeah, 11
Yes.
special.
I think this is going to be the best podcast you've had.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you're on it?
Well, that's one. I like the way you think, but even because it's 11.
Yeah. So tell me about 11. Is that called numerology?
It's neurology and also it's binary numbers. Obviously, I'm not very well versed on it, other than the fact that I know that every time there is 11:11, my sister calls me, make a wish, make a wish. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just a girl thing.
Oh, and like special days.
Like November 11th.
25.
Exactly. November, or it's 11 a.m. and 11 minutes, right?
But
and it's easy to remember.
Is there anything special about 11 in particular?
I think if you had a numerologist on the show, she would have, or he would have like totally went on for hours talking about it.
Yeah.
I just know it's binary numbers and I know it's spiritually a good number, but like ones and zeros are definitely, like I know in the Persian culture that 110 is actually the number for Sufism.
What is Sufism?
Sufis are people of God that they don't have any connection to the material world. And they are the ones that do the spinning. So they create an energy vortex by their spinning. And that's how they connect to God.
Are they trying to disengage with the physical world?
It's they disengage with the physical world and they go into the whole spiritual realm, and that's where they find their seeds, seek their truth and seek their core. Kind of like what ayahuasca does.
Is it like a meditative state, or
it's very much of a meditative
state?
And I think everything about meditation is to get you back into connecting with your higher subconscious. In order to have an effect on your conscious
maybe
living.
kind of get out of the immediate, or bring you back to the immediate sometimes, because you're too in your head and you got to be brought back to where.
Yes, we can easily be in our head, right?
Yeah.
Especially with technology. Speaking of technology, talk about something that's taken a massive toll. I think what technology is to your musculoskeletal system is what sugar is for your teeth.
Whoa, we just shot right in there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, before we get into all that, I want to talk about musculoskeletal for sure. But the idea behind kind of getting out of certain states or getting into certain states, I think is really important, because it goes along with your musculoskeletal health.
Exactly, it does.
Right? Because you need that feedback.
Exactly.
And some of these things, like one thing that I do in particular that I've changed some behavioral things, is getting into a cold plunge. Ice therapy, where I just hate the cold. And there's a couple different reasons
you're in
why
a perfect
that's good.
state for that.
Yeah, it kind of puts you in this maybe even like forced meditative state.
Right.
I've had different experiences when I do it. I do it for 3 minutes at 43 degrees.
3 minutes.
Sometimes 5 minutes.
Wow.
And I get a different
reaction.
A mental state almost every time. Sometimes I'm just like, I can't wait to get out of here. But other times one thing that one of my buddies who I do jiu-jitsu with talked to me about was doing box breathing. So I do the box breathing, and it's in, hold it 3 seconds or as long as you want, and then out, hold it, while it's out, hold it for the same amount of time. So it's kind of in, out, but you're holding it, and you just think about a box. And it's this thing that when you're going through really tough, stressful situations, he was like, just do it, man. Just do it every time. And I was like, okay, let me try it, Art. Thanks, Art, by the way.
Yeah.
But it really, I do it when I'm in jiu-jitsu. I'm under somebody. It's terrible. I'm just like, I just focus on your breathing.
Right.
But that's a good way to just actually focus on it, is because you can control that.
Absolutely.
So a few times when I was doing that, I just got this really calm, like I was in water, but I felt like I was just calm. I wasn't worried about the ice. I know that was some kind of meditative, like
state.
Suppressed, mental state where you're just like, I don't know if it's heightened or suppressed, but whatever, it felt more focused.
Exactly. And I think that's the whole key word, is focus. It changing you. It gives you the shock effect and your system the shock effect to not think about anything else.
That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediate focus on You have to focus on that thing.
So whether you're meditating, ultimately what we want to do is for a minute flush our brain from everything that's in it and everything that's gets loaded on it, whether it's professionally, whether it's socially. You're trying to relax, and guess what most people do when they relax? Scroll on Instagram, TikTok, like other fast entertaining, or Netflix, right? So, but still data is going in unilaterally into your brain. You're still accumulating data through your eyes, ears, and all your senses.
Absolutely.
With a state of shock, all the other senses are shut down because you're in like a survival mode. With holding your breath, that's survival mode. Being in a cold plunge, holy shit, when am I going to get out of here? Oh, did I just say that on
On the LA Shoulder podcast, it is allowed. You can say whatever you want. Don't worry about it.
I could hear my father, honey, act more like a doctor.
Yeah, it's okay. We're learning who doctors are these days. So that's why, part of doing this is really talking and learning about really how did you get to this point, really knowing all of these things? You don't just learn these overnight.
No.
You learn a lot of this through experience and through thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have too. But that experience, there's nothing that can be in place of that, right? You can have a lot of good knowledge and thought, but it brings you so far. But with the experience, it takes you further. And then you continue to practice. Practice.
I practice. I love practicing.
Yeah.
I love helping people. I think that's the purpose behind everything we do, right?
So yeah, we were kind of getting into this kind of feedback between what we do and what we're trying to accomplish with our bodies, right? So we talked about meditation and maybe different ways to get into that kind of feedback of like, hey, I'm here. Let's think about where my body is. I think jiu-jitsu does that for proprioception.
Right.
It has to be something
balance,
physical.
Coordination,
yoga,
reflexes.
Maybe, or hot yoga, I think kind of does that.
Oh my God. I think hot yoga is like Botox in an hour.
It what?
It's Botox in an hour.
What does that mean? Is that good?
Means like your whole entire facial expression changes.
Oh yeah.
You just calm.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Yeah, it's healthy treatment.
You know why it's like that? This is my theory. All right. So we know that neuroreceptors respond to pressure, right? And we know that we have pain receptors in our skin.
We have pressure and pain receptors everywhere on our skin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now, here's the interesting part that I think your audience will really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever banged your head or your elbow against something? What's the first reaction you do? What's all the time?
All the time.
Like your toe on the bed, right? What's the first reaction you do?
I say, God.
Exactly. That's your vocal reaction, but your physical reaction is you hold it. You put pressure on it.
It feels better when you do
that. Exactly. Because pressure is more powerful than pain, right? When you're in yoga, you are in a high state of heat. It's very uncomfortable, right? And you're going through motions that are pushing your muscles into an outer limit. So what it does, it confuses your nervous system. And whatever you've been thinking, all the stress you've had throughout the day, it gets flushed out in that 1 hour.
Flushed out, I think.
Exactly.
You got to sweat it out. Get it through the skin.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have pain and irritations, because you put your body in a state of putting it in a different position, whether it's a rotating of your hip, bringing your shoulders back, your yoga instructor is like squeezing between your shoulder blades.
Yeah.
That is putting pressure on the muscles to perform.
Do you think it takes, though, a level of more exertion to get to that higher level of fatigue to get the toxins out? I feel like I can do a easy workout, but if I'm not sweating, not every day, but if I feel like that kind of boggy feeling where I need to flush it out, like we're kind of talking about, I feel like when I sweat, it helps me get rid of a lot of that. I feel different if I'm doing more of an aerobic exercise to get that out, and then I drink more water. Kind of feels like more like I'm flushing that out. Is there a difference, do you think? Or
I think there's a huge difference is sweating. Sweating is really detoxing.
It is detoxing.
Really.
Yeah, it's good for you to sweat.
Because when you're working out, you actually build lactic acid.
At the same time, right? Like you could work out slowly, not sweat. Then you could sweat it out later doing like yoga or sauna or something.
Sorry.
That would be the same, right?
With my workout, I wear a sauna suit.
Okay. So you like to get sweaty then?
I think if I'm getting sweaty, I'm getting my money's. I'm like my time was well spent.
I feel like that too.
Yeah, so I don't feel that with Pilates, even though I recommend it to all my patients.
Sure.
But it depends on your personality. Some people don't like to get sweaty. Oh my God!
Right.
No, my hair. Right.
Maybe there's some value to just getting. I don't think you have to work out to a sweat to get exercise, like to exercise your muscles and posture to work that way. But maybe there's some value in getting some sweat at some point in your day or the week, because I think that it does kind of flush you out. Maybe you just go in the sauna to do that, especially if people don't like to exercise.
It opens up your pore. It flushes you out.
Just get
the best thing to get over a hangover is to have a good sweaty workout.
Sure.
The best thing.
Yeah.
When you're sick, what's the first thing they say? Sweat it out. Right? So sweating is, your skin is the biggest organ of your body. It's not your intestine, it's your skin. So therefore you have this huge real estate to execute toxins out. Why not do it? Again, it really depends on what's your ultimate goal. Like some people just want to improve their posture. Yes, they could do isometric exercises and movement.
And that's a different thing.
Somebody else wants to lose more calories. Okay, do a high aerobic, HIIT workout, wear a sweat sauna, or do it. Some people just want to calm their nervous system while they are investing that time to stretch their muscles as well. Great. Come uncoil themselves from 8 hours of sitting behind a desk.
Right. And there's value in all of that.
Oh, 100%. It depends what you want. And here's the best part about this wellness healthcare system that we are in. And I was actually talking to my girlfriend last night about this. We are in the best time to be in our tip-top shape.
Yeah.
You want a cold plunge? It's right there. You want a meditation? It's right there. There are retreats all over the world that you can enjoy, have a feast of your eyes and your senses, as well as accomplish what you want to accomplish. You want to go on a fast? It's their support group, their support system, their how-tos on YouTube. This is the best time. There's no excuse.
I've seen a lot of my patients having significant changes, and it's not just from medication. They've changed their workout routine. They've come back a year later, and I see their bodies have changed, and they're so happy. And really, their diet has changed, and almost all my patients are starting to understand that that diet is important. It's not just eat when you feel like it or eat a lot. It's they're talking about macronutrients and protein, and they understand that.
Yes.
And they understand that sugar is probably pretty bad, mostly. And you should use sugars, like good carbohydrates, after exercise, sometimes simple sugars after exercise to get the glycogen stored up again. But that's really only after vigorous exercise.
You
should moderate it.
You can accomplish sugar load with anything else. Corn has a lot of sugar. Just the fact that you eat fresh corn, right? Barbecue it and eat it is quite delicious with salt, I know, and butter, sugar, right? Butter. But did you know that
kind of better? It's better than.
Did you know that? Yes, exactly. Refined sugar is the worst thing you could ever have. But did you know that Incas in Peru, that they digged up the bodies of the Incas, and by the way, they don't bury them flat on the ground. They dig a hole and put them in a fetal position. The way they arrived into this world, they put them back into fetal position and put them in a cave.
Whoa.
Yes, but they have checked all of their dentals, and none of them have a cavity.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the Incas because they used to chew on sugar cane. They used to chew on sugar cane, which was a natural resource, right? And they are known for different types of corn. I think it's, if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this. So whoever is listening to this, please do not quote me.
I don't know anybody that's Inca.
I just know that people in Peru, you have over 300 types of corn. A corn that is as small as your fingernail and as big as your thumb. And they have different delicious. Oh my God. If you haven't had Peruvian food, you got to have Peruvian food. You got to try the Peruvian corns.
My buddy did
delicious.
A backpacking trip there in medical school, and it sounded kind of crazy, but he was just hiking through through Peru, the Alps.
Yes.
What are the
Cusco.
Cusco Mountains.
Cusco Mountains to Machu Picchu.
He's an adventurer. That's right. He did Machu Picchu, and pretty interesting place.
Yes. But, they do something very interesting. These are things I learned, like fun facts.
Very different
fun
culture.
Facts that's not related to this podcast, but we're chatting, right?
Sure, why not?
This is coffee time with you guys. Another interesting is, how we look at the stars and we look at, the combination of the stars and have different way of reading it.
Yeah.
Well, the Incas didn't look at the stars.
Constellations.
They didn't look at the constellations. You know what they looked at?
No.
The dark spaces in between. Fascinating, right? I mean, talk about having different point of views but still accomplishing what needed to be accomplished. Like they needed it for navigation. They needed it for astrological forecasting. One nation, one part of our beautiful earth looked at things that looks at constellation. The other part looked at all the dark spaces. How beautiful is this world that we live in?
So what got you interested in that, in the cultures? Do you have any knowledge of that area? Did you go and travel and
I
spend
traveled
some
there.
time
I traveled there to Ecuador, to Iguazu.
My mom lived there for a while. She lived in
Really? Peru?
Ecuador.
Ecuador is beautiful.
Yeah, very
yes.
beautiful.
You got Galapagos Islands, where Darwin discovered his initial studies were in Galapagos Islands.
Yeah, I was a big fan. Big fan. And there was another, I can't remember the guy's name that wrote the book. He wrote about the finches, but there was a time where I was really, really interested in that. And there's a way that you can kind of explain it with evolutionary changes and genetic changes, and it does go together, but it's all based on DNA and what DNA wants to do and what these cells do. And what the cells do, that's the foundation of life. I've really started getting into more biologics and regenerative orthopedics. And I treat shoulder elbow. I'm a shoulder elbow specialist. Like, that's how we kind of got in contact.
That's right.
And I was really interested in your posture and alignment device. And how that kind of feedback system can help people with issues, maybe shoulder pain, bursitis, impingement, maybe recovery from surgery,
rotator cuff injuries, tears, yes.
Right? So many
scapular
things.
tracking.
I have a full-time job just taking care of shoulder problems, but I also treat elbow and wrist and knees and hips with biologics, because there's regenerative orthopedics now where I can get stem cells from you. It's autologous stem cells. It's called BMAC, bone marrow. And the bone marrow has this structure where it's soft bone with like a little bit of kind of like a lattice, but there's cells in there.
Yes.
And those cells, they fleck
have a
off.
function, yes.
Of course they do. And they regenerate. And so then that DNA in the cells, it's turned on to say, hey, we got to keep this organism alive, but they're all stored in the bone marrow. And that's what I've learned. And so they go into your bloodstream, and then they're going to start healing different things. You cut your leg, you got one or two stem cells that says, hey, there's a problem, and that stem cell turns into the tissue.
Problem in the shoulder,
exactly.
Sending troops over. Yeah.
So why doesn't that heal? But then why doesn't that heal? The shoulder doesn't heal. It can heal with more restrictive movement and with fibrosis. But if your rotator cuff is torn, that muscle pulls off. And stem cells, even if they're floating around, they can't do a good enough job to reattach it. That's why surgeons have to reattach it. But it still has to heal, right? And so I don't do that. There's cellular healing. There's mechanisms that turn on. But what I know now is that a lot of that healing potential is inside your body. So I get it from you, and then I say, okay, I have this, I concentrate it, and then I can put it back into these different areas. So that's really exciting stuff, because it's cellular, which means that there's actual alive cells that are from you, and then they say, oh, okay, this is the problem area. But it takes a surgeon to say, well, this is something that stem cells may be able to help, in some way. But otherwise, we're getting them from the bloodstream. We're just collecting them, and that's called plasma.
Right.
That's the PRP, platelet-rich plasma, because there's a few of them floating around.
That's
and
right.
So when I tell people that it's concentrated, but I got to get a lot of blood, and it's just a blood draw.
That's right.
But
I do have a PRP machine in the clinic. Yes.
But that's all we use that's FDA approved.
Right.
Right. So when we're taking placenta and we're getting it from other people and they're doing injections, I think that stuff can work.
Definitely.
But we don't know, you can't manipulate cells based on what the FDA says. You can't manipulate.
You know what manipulates
cells.
the cells? The actual body itself. So if you have a healthier body, your response to stem cell is much, much higher.
Absolutely.
Than if you have an unhealthy body.
Absolutely.
And then worse than
the environment,
more powerful than your body is your mind. So if your mind, just like we talked about meditation earlier on, right? We talked about the shock therapy. We talked about meditation, cold plunges, hot yoga.
Yeah.
Like we went through all this extreme. When your mind is in a happier state, it will tell your body to function better.
It feeds back.
It feeds back to the cells that are trying to heal through stem cell. Right?
Exactly.
So if I was to say, because we have so many people listening to this podcast with different backgrounds and different lifestyles, and different health conditions.
But
so
we all get injured.
We all get it. That's one common,
know.
That's one factor. Pain does not discriminate by height, weight,
I tell patients,
religion, skin color.
Pain is not a requirement after surgery. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes you don't hurt after surgery.
It's so funny. That's like such
you get hurt sometimes. And it does hurt.
Yes.
It hurts with pain.
Poor habits. Oh, pain is the worst thing.
Yeah. That's what gets people in. That's why they want treatment.
Yes.
People don't come and see me if they're not having problems. Sometimes they just don't understand and they might need clarification and they're not having necessarily a lot of pain. That's pretty rare.
Right.
Most people come and see me because they have a painful problem.
Right.
And what's nice about my practice is I really can help people. with these treatments.
Right.
And you really help people too, but it's a combination of these things.
I have both. I have people that come in with
it's not
acute
just the
problem.
treatment, it's the after too,
No,
right?
listen,
you got to make those changes.
As diverse as our body is, and every day science is discovering different things about our human bodies, right? How we react, how we heal, how we treat ourselves. As diverse as our body is, so is the ability to how you want to take care of it and your reaction to your treatment. I have patients that come in with severe pain and walk away happy, right? I also have patients that come in for wellness and protection and prevention. The difference between those two is the person that comes in with pain put themselves in a position that they got injured. So I'm available for conservative care. Mm-hmm. You're available for what they need, depending on what stage of damage, exactly. Depending on what stage of damage they are, we are here to help. Earlier, we talked about what a fantastic time to be living here, especially in this country, that we have all this available to you. We have conservative treatment with me. You have with chiro. I'm a chiropractor. We have conservative treatment with our acupuncturists, with our massage therapists, with our physical therapists. That doesn't work, we come to you for stem cell. Stem cell doesn't work, let's do surgery. Right?
We help direct and guide treatment. We treat, but we also help guide treatment. Hey, you need to go to see Dr. Ghassemi for chiropractic treatment. Oh, you don't need surgery. You don't need to see Dr. Stone.
Or wait a little bit, or let's do this before we do that. Exactly. So in the spectrum from prevention to full-on acute care, you have such a diverse variety that we can offer you, and we can strategize your game plan, because we all are wearing the same color jersey. We are in the same team. You, me, and the patients.
Right.
We're all on the same side.
Right.
Insurance companies on the other. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
Right.
We're going to talk about, because they want to keep you sick. We want to keep you healthy. That's the difference.
Well, they don't authorize, they're not authorizing any of these biologic treatments. Those are all outside of the insurance system. Yeah,
I think we should not even go there, because that is a painful conversation for every doctor who's listening.
That's a complex conversation.
Yes.
I think it's probably there's more components to it than just getting people better. Mm-hmm. Right? So
they have a subscription model.
Yeah.
And when they're supposed to pay out for that investment, they don't. That's the fact.
Well, we're at this cutting edge where we're getting more information by the day. Mm-hmm. You know, in terms of medicine, we were probably by the week because we're slower than everybody else. But you know, it's this information age, and so if you ask these questions, the technology is able to help us answer it much quicker than before. And now that we have this information, we can move faster with innovation, and you see it happening. I mean, it's actually really happening right now. These conferences are really. Each time I go to a conference, we're talking about a whole new section that just has to do with technology and the advancements there.
That's right. That's right. But if we go back to, you know, when you're covered or you're not authorized and authorized, have you noticed there's a lot more people that are taking the higher step of self-care?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And we have people from a dental hygienist. I have patients that are cleaning ladies, construction workers. I have CEOs. I have tech developers. I have people that work in physical labor. I have people that work in cerebral labor. And both of them, both categories, they all suffer from the side effects of technology. Remember earlier we talked about how sugar, what technology is to our spine for wear and tear to your entire musculoskeletal system, is what sugar is to dentistry, right? So in the musculoskeletal world, we offer different services, you and me both, right? In different spectrum of what they need. The information, like every time I go to a trade show or to a conference, I'm blown away by how advanced we're getting using technology. But you're not going to stop eating because you're afraid of cavities, right? And neither are you going to let go of your technology. We're sitting in front of my iPhone and your tablet with this amazing technology, right? We're doing our work. We just have to have a support system to protect the body as we go through this process, just like your dental kit.
What do you think the number one issue of technology affecting people is in terms of their physical health? Do you think it causes problems, like all of these attachments to screens or to their job because now their job is different because now they're sitting at a desk more? Do you think that? What do you think the primary issue
I
with
lecture at
these
corporate
advances
wellnesses on a frequent basis, and I work with ergonomics and injury
are?
prevention.
Right. You see a lot of this.
Yes. So their slogan is "Sitting is the new smoking," right?
I've heard that before.
Yes.
My buddy came on and said the same thing.
Sitting is the new smoking, but worse than that, your eyes follow your screen. Wherever that screen sits, your eyes are going to follow that. So when you're on your phone, because most people are mostly right now on their tablets, and they're more mobile, they're working in different environments, but they're on their tablets and on their phone, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you step out of that high-end ergonomic workstation. Let's have a perfect scenario, right? Then you come, you're sitting in the car, you look at your phone before you take off. You're driving, you're slouched. You go home, you look at your phone again, you're slouched. Your head is forward. Then you eat something, your whole body is slouched. Then you sit on the couch, watch a little bit of TV, Netflix, or you sit on your sofa and bring your tablet and look at your emails. Everything you do is in a flex forward, flex position, one after another, like boom, 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 right? Now, what happens is the front muscles of the front of your body, which are responsible for flexion, like bringing you forward, they are getting over activated, right?
Yeah.
So they call it hyperspasm, tightness and hyperspasm. If you don't believe me, just as you're listening to this, go ahead and take your fingers and rub on your pectoral muscles.
Pectoralis major.
Pectoralis major, right by your deltoids, where the cut of your shoulder is touching your pec. You have trigger points there. You already have tenderness. If you got that, and if you touch the base of your neck and you feel tight,
trapezius.
you're already at risk. Done. Right? Now,
upper trapezius.
Upper traps, right at the base of your shoulder, right? Base of your head and neck.
It's a big muscle.
That's one. But on the other side, where your extensor muscles, the muscles in the back of your body that are responsible to balance, kind of like a yin and yang, balance your body, they are being hyper weakened.
Yes.
And what happens, they are flaccid, they're weak. And if you don't believe me, try to sit up straight for about an hour. You are going to fall back into your slouching position within a minute, if you're lucky.
When muscles are pulled out, they're weaker. It follows the Starling curve.
That's right.
So there's a force where they're really powerful in the middle. And at the end, they're all bunched up and they can't fire anymore, right? But if they're fully stretched out, they're not firing very well.
That's right.
So you have to keep the posture to get those muscles balanced.
Posture is the key.
Posture. So I learned this from just over time, but we call it muscle balance. Muscles are either in balance
or out of balance.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
And there's a combination. There might be one muscle and one muscle, like the biceps and the triceps. That's easy to understand if they're out of balance.
That's right.
Right? If your triceps is so tight that you can't bend no matter how strong this is, or
that's right.
say this part is very loose or this is contracted. It's basically the balance. The shoulder is complex because there's a few big muscles in the front, but there's a lot of little muscles in the back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because most of our activities
and a lot
is
of different
forward
planes
movement,
of motion.
right? Exactly.
Different planes of motion. So it's balance. It's balanced through those complex planes of motion.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes the body so fascinating.
Well, the shoulder
right?
for me. That's why I just focus on the shoulder. No,
I'm like the whole body. But
no, me too. And I'm learning how the shoulder, and that's why this podcast is so interesting, is I've learned how, like talking to people like you, talking to other physical therapists and people who really understand working out and lifting weights and how muscle balance, and we're all talking about the same thing, but we understand it maybe differently.
That's right.
You know, and I didn't have a lot of training in that as a surgeon, but we get to the how do you treat it, and you have to understand it. But you treat it through ways over time that you're able to start seeing the outcome of that. Unless you're an athlete and you do it yourself. Right. So that's why a lot of orthopedic surgeons tend to be athletes. Right?
Exactly.
Because it goes together. But the muscle balance thing is really interesting. One muscle I forgot to mention was the pec minor in the front as well. Those are part of getting those two contracted in the front.
Yes. And also let's talk about platismus muscle.
Yeah.
That connects platismus.
Oh, yes. In the front.
Platismus, the front. It starts from the base of your jawline and attaches to your clavicles, right? Your collarbones. When your head is forward, this muscle goes into a hypercontraction. It shortens. So it pulls your head forward. Now, as soon as that happens, it alters the clavicular position on your acromioclavicular joint, which is your AC joint, where your pectoralis muscles are attaching. So if that joint is altered, it instantly causes the muscles to go into hypercontraction muscle, which leads to your rhomboids, your levator scapula, and your subscapularis to be weakened. And here's the interesting part. Speaking of shoulder, your scapula sits on top of your rib cage. Your ribs are connected to your thoracic spine. So when you're slouching, you're not only affecting, we can go layer by when you're slouching, my dear, whoever is listening to this, you shift your entire scapular position. You change the position of your rib cage. Worse than that, you activate the overcontraction of the front. Then you stay in that position.
Right. And you get comfortable with that.
And you get comfortable with that.
You're not used to being out of that position.
Exactly. And most people think, if I sit upright or, I need to bring my head up because I have this forward head carriage. Your neck muscles originate from your semi-splenius muscles, right? Your paraspinal muscles in the thoracic spine.
Small muscles here that connect each intervertebral segment. Yeah.
If we were to share that with our audience. So for ladies who are listening, you know where your bra line is? Below that, a couple of inches below that is where the actual muscles that control your neck position start from. And
kind of the mid-back.
Yes, exactly. And if you want to kind of have a better demonstration, take your hand and put it behind your back above the curve in your lower back and slouch. And then sit upright. You see how that bones shift? We call that thoracolumbar. Right. That's the connection between the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine. And then if that's not bad enough, like your head goes forward, you're slouching, your hyperkyphosis, right? Shoulder joints are totally distorted. Now, without even knowing, you have a secondary effect or maybe a tertiary effect. As soon as you change your forward head position, your thoracic spine, your lumbar curve is instantly affected. Instantly.
Because it puts pressure right on that interface.
Because the connection between the thoracolumbar is exactly where where your trapezius muscles end and your latissimus start. So that diamond area called the thoracolumbar is a transition area of changing the curve in the thoracic. And as soon as if you don't believe me, let's try this now. You know that you put in your hand at the middle of your back? Yeah. Now, put your hands right on the two dimples of your back, okay? Hold it there, feel the bones, now slouch. Did you see how it turned back and it starts getting towards your fingers? Yeah. Now sit upright, bring your shoulders back, push your chest forward. Do you see how that curve changes?
Yeah.
That is the connection between your head with your pelvis.
Is that pelvic tilt?
That's a pelvic tilt, posterior, anterior, right? Depending on what you're doing. But I want you to think about your body not as a piece of head, piece of neck, piece of shoulder. You're not Legos. You're a dynamic chain that everything is connected together with 5 different types of muscles. Your longitudinal muscles, your lateral muscles, your frontal muscles, your posterior and your transverse muscles. Yeah. Now put all that together, wrap them up in fascia.
Nice fascia burrito.
What fascia does, fascia burrito, okay.
That's your core, right? That's what connects.
You know, that's how I learned anatomy, right? I associate it with every food possible. I'm such a foodie. I love food. Yeah. So your fascia works on your diagonal movements.
Right.
It's a spiral effect.
Right.
That's why people who have scoliosis, you notice that right shoulder is high and rotated forward. Immediately you see the left hip is forward. That's the rotation. That's the spiral effect. So in order for you to be corrected, whether conservatively through chiropractic or whether through physical therapy, chiropractic, or through surgery and stem cell, you got to fix the underlying cause. Like you invest all this time and money and you're expecting to have long-lasting results. Let's go back to just take a couple of steps back, maybe a couple of months, couple of years back. What got you there? Let's talk about prevention, right? Let's talk about prevention. What got you there? It was your biomechanical distortion. Bio means biology. Mechanic means how things move because we are a mechanical movement. Your joints sit on top of each other. Each joint in the body, as you know, has a different angle, right? So every angle, if you bring the alignment of the joints back into place, stabilize it with muscles and enhance it with exercise, you just increase your longevity. And that is what an Invisalign does for your smile. that's what you will be doing for your entire body.
So tell me about your posture device that you showed me,
Oh.
because I tried it on, and it gave me that immediate feedback, like we were talking about, like the cold plunge, or it didn't make me freezing cold, fortunately, but
It made you feel tall and handsome, right?
Yeah, you're right. It did. I was like, ooh, I just started getting my, and
Yes.
as soon as you take it off, or if you strap it on tighter, maybe you could talk more about it,
Yes,
about
of
how
course.
it works.
Yes.
But it seemed to be different at different tensions.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We have different lifestyles, different activities of daily living, different personalities, how we go about our day. So your body has to be dialed. There's no cookie cutter for everyone. There are 5 different types of posture, right? We talk about flat back, sway back, hyper forward head carriage, and rotation. We'll talk about that in another episode, maybe episode, I don't know, 22.
22, yeah, I was going to say 22 sounds good.
Stay tuned for 22.
Episode 22. Going hip to pelvis to shoulder.
The product I created was really based on 30 years. I've been in practice 30 years. Next year will be 31. And my entire specialty is about biomechanical correction, where what an orthodontist does for your teeth, I do for your spine, right? It's extensive training, but it's worth every minute because I offer long-lasting results. The challenge I had is the products I used to recommend to my patients to be on this program were big, bulky, ugly, and it reduces compliance. Like I wouldn't be wearing it. So therefore, it was very hard to expect your young teenager or a professional male or female, or even somebody who's retired and they want to play, to wear these ugly devices. It was just not conducive.
Were they like bulky or?
Bulky, ugly, it was just not.
Didn't work.
It didn't work because we didn't have, you're supposed to have, it is a protocol to care, right? If you do this for this long, you're going to get that results, right? Kind of like your braces, your Invisalign. But the products for musculoskeletal system are so archaic. So I wanted to come up with something that it's functional, it's fashionable, it's usable, it's washable, it's affordable. I had to take all those into consideration. And guess who my judge and jury were?
The patients.
All my patients.
People using it.
People using it.
Right. But they can
They
give you
used
feedback.
it.
What
They gave
like,
me
what they don't
phenomenal
like,
feedback. They gave me such great feedback that right now my return rate is 0.01%. And that's usually for sizing. Like you think you're one size and you get that, and it's not that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a compression activewear that has built-in silicone to grip to your muscles. This was from a group of my patients that are athletes because they're so agile. We didn't want the compression wear to shift in their body because it would have shifted the reaction of their muscles, right? So imagine
like if it wasn't holding in place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also I needed to take into consideration the muscle fatigue, right? What do I give a person that has high quality, high return with minimal effort, right? When you're biomechanically distorted, you've set yourself up for early muscle fatigue. Muscle fatigue leads into injury. So I wanted to correct their body, but also support the muscles. So I had to work with the skeletal, which is for alignment of the joints, and I had to work with muscular, because together, that's where they would have created the maximum power and performance for my users. So my athletes say, you need to keep this stable. I'm like, okay, going back to the drawing board, silicone. Okay, we add silicone. Where do we put the silicones? It has to go along the muscle fibers so it enhances the power of the muscle, but grips to the muscle. Kind of like what a KT tape does for the muscles. Imagine it's already built into your Lululemon. Does that make sense?
Kind of sticking and holding. It
sticks it, but without interference.
Right.
I think if you've ever worn shapewear and has that silicone, it kind of feels that way. It's comfortable, it's easy, you don't even feel it, but it does what it needs to do, right? So I went to USC baseball players and I had them on. I started with a brace and I had it on 13 athletes. And I went to the coach and I said, listen, if you align the shoulders, you can increase the power of the throw, swing, pitch. So he said, I don't care what it does.
Increase power. Stay with me. Because that's when it's going to get sexy. That's interesting.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the audience know what sexy is to our doctors,
Yeah,
right?
we get
Okay,
excited.
we get excited about alignment and power and performance.
Sounds yeah.
So I took it to baseball player with Coach Tom House, and he
But
passed.
athletes are always looking for ways to improve performance.
That's right,
Yeah.
because athletes are the most injured.
Yeah, and prevent injury, improve performance.
Improve
and-
performance changes
yeah.
your salary from 6 figures to 7 to 8 to 9.
Yeah, sure.
Right? It's all about longevity of that. So he passed me on to Coach Charlie Newtbar. Yes, Newtbar. And he said, okay, so we put this brace on them and we had them do internal, external rotation, measured the range of motion. Then we had the students to run to this is USC students, we had them run to the net and pitch and kneel and pitch. And after we tried it 3 times per each student. I was able to increase the velocity of the pitch by 1 to 4 miles per hour, depending on the student, consistently. So I thought, I am done. I'm going to buy myself a house in Hawaii.
Right.
I'm retiring.
Get a nice beach place.
I had no idea that was the first step of climbing Mount Everest, right?
Was that like a provisional device that you made, or had you already?
Yes.
Is this the current device that you
No,
have?
no, this was a provisional device.
Okay.
This was my first device where I made, I took a figure 8 shoulder orthosis, and I made it fashionable, comfortable.
Okay.
But the function was align the AC joint, align the shoulder rotation, that rotated forward shoulder rotation. He said, my boys don't wear a brace. Put it in a shirt. I'm like, put it in a shirt. Okay.
So it was still pretty much it was hard. It had hard parts to it.
No,
like
it didn't. It was fully a soft brace.
Okay.
But he said, my boys want to have a shirt because it's more convenient. It's comfortable. It's easy. Put it on, adjust it, get your power in, throw it in the pantry, throw it in the laundry basket and washing machine, then you're done. Then you wear it again, right? Braces, it was not as masculine, I guess.
It's like an extra thing you have to do.
Yes. I mean, the braces did amazing in corporate wellness and chiropractic clinics, but athletes wanted an active wear.
Sure.
That did that for them, right?
It's like you put it on under for some additional benefit.
You put it on,
like
put it on and let me go play.
On, right?
I want the team to go, come on, let's go. So it took me 5 years to climb that Mount Everest.
Okay.
Right? So I created the shirt, got it tested. We actually tested it with baseball players as well as triathletes, professional tennis player, professional golfers, and it was passed the test. The thing is, as a doctor, as you know, and as a chiropractor, and I think if physical medicine doctors or anybody in musculoskeletal field would know, you cannot correct upper body without correcting lower body. It's called the upper cross, lower cross syndrome, right?
I was going to ask about that. So how far down does the
It goes down
brace
to
go?
your hips.
To your hips.
And it also affects your patella position.
So it covers from your pelvis.
It covers from mid-thigh all the way up to the base of your neck.
Okay. Is that adequate?
That's adequate for full body correction.
It's adequate for full body.
Full body correction.
Because you
Full
don't really
body.
need it to include the legs. You don't need a full body suit.
If you align the pelvis and the position of your hips, you immediately change the patella position for a medially shifted patella, and you reduce the loading on meniscus as well as the AC joint, your quadricep muscles, your hamstrings, the 3 heads of your quadricep muscles. You immediately change that position, you affect your foot position.
So your pelvis kind of connects more to your upper core, and then each leg is more independent. So you're kind of getting that feedback on where your pelvis and your core is, right? And then you're thinking about each leg.
That's right. And that's where the beauty comes in.
Yeah, that's amazing.
With the
because it wouldn't
activewear.
really help to have it all connected.
No. Then you'd be another cookie cutter. It's not a cookie cutter.
Right. It kind of helps you differentiate those
Exactly.
things. Okay.
Because you may have, so let's say you're a golfer, right?
I don't golf anymore. I can't move my body that way to hit the ball.
I have to get you the full suit because you wore the
Maybe
shirt.
I'll golf in the suit and I can hit it in.
Well, we did a study and we increased the power of the golf swing by 15 yards.
Yeah?
Yes, accuracy by 20% using KBS motion analysis.
Oh, yeah.
It literally blows your mind. But the best part as well, increase, obviously, your game is better, it reduces your handicap. But the best part is you're not fatigued under the 7th hole, 9th hole.
That's what happens. I get real fatigued by the end, even 9th
You
hole.
wear this, by the time you're done with your
Start
18 hole,
decompensating.
you come in and you're like, okay, come on, guys, high five, let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody else is passed out on the lounge chairs. But going back to the activewear, it has 4 points. First, we align the shoulder joint. As soon as you realign the position of the shoulder, it changes the dynamics of your head and neck. Why? Because it's activating your levator scapula as well as your upper trapezius, and stretches out your pectoralis muscle, where we talked about pec major, pec major and minor. The shirt has 2 tabs. The tabs that brings the shoulders back, especially people who are, I call them keyboard shoulder, if they can actually see the roundness of their shoulder. But then it also has this lower body part where it changes the thoracolumbar position. So what we did, the shirt has 2 tabs that pull and change that thoracolumbar. Remember, we were like, ladies, we were talking about 4 inches below your bra line, 2 inches below your bra line, or guys can see it like in the curve of their back. Instantly aligns the thoracic spine. So scapula goes back in, subscapularis for athletes, which is responsible for the rotation of the shoulder in a power move. That changes and instantly unloads the load on the muscles, so you can actually be more powerful or stronger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does.
This is your field. This is your department now.
Yeah, it's called the kinetic chain.
And how does that make a difference to the torn labrum of the shoulder?
Well, a lot of, and if you could pull that up.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up while you're talking.
And I'll talk about that because I think that's a great question. Really, what it's called is the kinetic chain. And the kinetic chain starts from the ground up. So athletes who are throwers, who are basically baseball players, volleyball players, the force, if you're, I used to love this drill. The quarterbacks used to just sit on the ground with one leg on the ground, like in a half squat type position, like a split squat. And they would just throw the ball back and forth because it was focusing just on their shoulder movement and the release. But they were close. They were like 10 yards. So they weren't trying to throw these bombs. And that was the precision throwing where you're using all of that movement together. But when you're standing and you're generating this significant amount of force for either a football or baseball, and you're throwing it a long distance, you're not using a strong shoulder, right? You're using your whole body to throw that heavy thing. It's a few pounds. And so far. So that's a force you can measure. You can write it out and say it's this much force. So to do that, if you just take your shoulder and you try as hard as you can to throw it that far, even if you do it perfectly, you might tear your labrum, right? You might tear one of those stabilizers because it takes more than just your shoulder muscles to throw that ball. So that stress might torque it and injure yourself. So that's where you use your body, you use this kinetic chain from your legs to your core. You're generating this force in this movement, and all of that force turns into that kinetic energy, which fires the ball. If you're going to throw it hard, but you have to use all of that together, either sidearm or over the top. But the throwing shoulder is something. If you're able, did you find it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Just airdrop to the iPad.
Okay.
If it's there.
I got a couple of good ones that I'm going to share with you.
Send them just one at a time.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'll go real slow, and then I'll pull them up one at a time.
Sounds good.
And so you asked me about injury. So it comes down to, the elbow might be injured, the shoulder might be injured at any point in time. Because
they're compensating.
Well, they may be compensating for this reason or that. And there's some little weak link that breaks down, that little ligament in the elbow just can't handle all that force that they're trying to generate. And so that weak link, because the muscular support or their compensation is throwing them off a little bit, and then they're doing that over time, and it's just breaking it down.
That's right.
So that's why it's complex. But then that one time it can just be, and it breaks. The ligament snaps.
That last straw on a camel's back.
Right. They can't throw anymore. They start losing velocity. A lot of times pitchers, it's not that they have this one moment where it just doesn't work anymore. Their elbow, it's this loss of velocity, and they can still do it. They might have pain and they're rehabbing it, but it's too late by then, and so it has to be about recovery, performance and recovery. And the recovery, if you're not recovering and you're not doing these alignment check-ins, these posture check-ins, maybe with this device that we're talking about, this suit, that you can have this check-in immediately. So you're getting that feedback to maybe limit injuries. And that's really what a lot of this in orthopedics is showing, is that preventative care really comes down to that biofeedback.
Right. With the shirt that I just sent you a video that we can play for our audience is, you can see that there's a dial tone because we have different body types. So especially if you have
Can
a
you say that
patient.
again?
Yes, of course. If you have one shoulder higher than the other, you could align your shoulders by using these Velcro tabs. So it's literally repositions your body
Here, I have
immediately. Because, who's got time for pain? I want results
Nobody
now.
wants to deal with pain.
Nobody wants to deal with pain.
All right. So, okay, I got it right here.
You got it? It's
Yeah.
a 6-second video that just shows like
This
how
one?
to do that. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's it. That's it. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you another one.
What is this gearsports.com, the alignment analysis?
Oh, that one. That one is actually somebody before wearing it. You can see the misalignment in the whole body position. So in golf, 1 millimeter, 1 degree, one weight bearing one side versus the other can ruin your entire strike, right? But and that shows you how off the person is. That's a company that offered to do a sponsorship of our study. And by the one in the blue is with somebody who's wearing that BAX-U active wear, full suit, shirt and shorts. And as you can see, the alignment is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you're set for power. You're set to win. You set yourself up for winning in the blue guy, whereas the one in the brown is you're set up to lose. And going back to what you were talking
I think
about.
that's such an important point. I tell my boys when they're throwing the baseball, sometimes they're throwing it consistently to the left. So you just got to aim, you turn your body a little bit and now you're throwing it straight. But if you start off crooked, you're going to
Check
throw
their
crooked
pelvis.
100%.
Check their pelvis.
Yeah. So
because there's a disconnection
but if
between.
you start off straight, you're going to throw straight.
Exactly.
There's no way you're going to throw straight if you start off crooked.
Check their shoulders. So I'll give you something actually today.
It's about their pelvis and their hips. And
well, you got to bring the
they're out of
shoulders
alignment
power.
sometimes.
You have to bring the shoulder alignment back into place. So the scapula is in the proper position, because the angle of your facet joints in the thoracic spine are 45 degrees. Their main primary function of thoracic spine is rotation. So when your swing is off and is out of proper direction and alignment, that means there's a disconnect between your thoracic rotation and a hip thrust power follow through. So those two are disconnected, and that is in any type of throwing, pitching activities.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So have your boys, I'll give you the posture brace, the provisional one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you
the
have one that
version
would fit them?
I do.
Okay.
I
So
do.
what sizes do they
That
come
one
in?
is going to be an extra small because it's more for pediatric.
Oh, okay. So you have them for kids, how extra small is the smallest?
Yes. So the braces are for the kids under 10.
Uh-huh.
It's easy, but above 5 years old.
I see.
Right.
5 years old.
Yes. And then our active wear is anything from extra small all the way to double XL.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw the video. I was just looking at the video there.
So as you can see, the shoulder has a dial system. So you can actually dial your shoulder back into alignment. So your body doesn't go into a sudden retraction because it freaks your muscles out. But you also feel like the feeling you have is I just became more upright.
Right.
The common denominator, which I think you said the same thing when you put it on, is, am I supposed to be this tall?
Yeah. Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
So maybe you can give a little indication of how
Sure,
this
of course.
works.
Does it go in a loop?
Yeah.
You know how to do that.
Yeah, I think it's
Great
loop.
job.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can see, you pull on the straps on top, and those tabs on the shoulder can actually give you the different angle that you want to pull your shoulders back, right? The tabs on the side are the ones that control your mid back.
These are kind of in place. They're supposed to follow your muscle lines.
That's
and
right.
Those areas where it's pushing on the muscles.
That's right.
I see. So where these are placed and how it fits is important.
It's very important. But to the average consumer that doesn't know much about anatomy, the best thing to do is first level is neutral. Second level is 20 to 30% retraction.
The pull.
The pull. And third level is about 30 to 40% retraction. In some cases, 50, depending on your body damages.
This looks really cool.
It is really
looks like
cool.
something you could wear as like a tactical vest, or you could wear for performance and sports, or you could just wear it daily.
You know, when I'm in, I
Do you
do
have
wear
people
it
that
daily.
you wear it?
Yes, I
Do you
do.
wearing it?
Today, no. Not
Today, no,
today's
but-
Sunday. I'm off duty.
But you really wear this?
I do when I'm at work. So the other day I woke up with severe shoulder pain. I could barely move my hand about 30 degrees in adduction and flexion. And I'm going to a wedding, so I have to lose weight. I'm on this like disciplined workout program. And I thought, I am going to work out with this. I'm a chiropractor. We do not sit down for injury, right?
Yeah.
So I put the shirt on. My range of motion was back to about 160.
Okay.
Not 180, but 160.
Yeah.
But not bad for an instant change, right? Because it was an alignment issue.
And so how do you recommend, when you see people, how do you recommend they use this?
So for my patients,
and do you do an evaluation if you fit them, or
the evaluation is so simple.
You just order it.
Yes, people can. If you see yourself, if you know you're slouching, you can qualify for it. Also, you can watch yourself in the mirror, and next time you're in front of the mirror after you come out of the shower, look at the person that's looking back at you. You draw a straight line from your forehead, nose, chin, all the way down to your belly button. Look at that person. Look at your earlobes. Are they even or tilted? Mm-hmm. Look at the shoulders. Are they even or tilted? And the most important part, that's going to be the distinguisher between a thoracic and a shoulder issue. If you're standing in front of the mirror, does the angle of your curve of your lower back, curve of your waistline, and your elbow, do they look the same or do they look different?
If it's off, right?
If it's off, that means you already shifted your pelvis.
So how do you recommend that people improve their pelvic control, their pelvic tilt? Is it something that you emphasize?
There's phenomenal exercises that are out in the market right now on YouTube, immediately available.
How do you give people guidance on that? Do you just make general recommendations, or do you have plans they follow?
Yes, I do. We have a whole program for low back relief, lower cross. We have a whole program for upper cross. The common denominator that I've seen, that people have to put themselves in a correct position, then do exercises. Because if you exercise in a wrong biomechanics, you enforce that wrong biomechanic.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. Those bad pathways.
Exactly. So a very simple exercise, which is by Dr. McKenzie, is if you see your hip is shifted to the right, stand by the wall and do exercises by shifting your hip to the left. That's it. Like do a counter mirror image exercise.
Right.
If you see your shoulder is higher when you're exercising, drop your right shoulder down lower if it's higher.
One question people have is like, should your body be equal in terms of strength? And if it's not, if it's unequal, there might be a problem.
That's a giveaway.
Yeah.
That's an instant giveaway.
Giveaways is weakness.
Early giveaway is there's a discrepancy between right and left.
Absolutely.
Right. That means there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm. So it should be investigated.
Absolutely. The best way to investigate is get evaluated and take x-rays standing.
Yeah.
Standing is weight bearing.
Right.
So you kind of take into account the forces of gravity on your body, and it will show better distortion on an x-ray. And then most radiologists look for pathologies like tumors, cancers, fractures, deep arthritis that's already set in motion. How do you distinguish a biomechanical distortion from pathology? A biomechanical distortion is literally having angles of your x-rays, and that could be done with any chiropractor can do that for you.
How often do you use x-rays?
On my patients?
Yeah. Have you heard of EOS? You know EOS?
EOS is the one that's a 3D?
Yeah, it's like the whole body scan, and they can do a lot lower radiation dose. They use an EOS scanner. I know we have one.
But is it for systemic organs, or is it for musculoskeletal?
It's for musculoskeletal, for x-ray. Yeah, for like scoliosis. I know the spine guys use them a lot because they can see alignment on these body scanners. They're called EOS. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I haven't actually, but I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's EOS.
Is it the one that has an X-ray at a 90-degree angle?
I can show it to you.
Because I saw this a while
where
back.
I work. Let's see. It's called.
Maybe I should refer all my patients to you.
You should, definitely.
We have it on record.
Yeah, as long as they have insurance, they can see me. Yeah, it looks like this. It's called the EOS scanner.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, the orange one.
Yes, love that.
Yeah,
that is fantastic,
and
because
it gives you output kind of like this. Like
it gives you a 3-dimensional instead of a 2-dimensional, because X-rays are 2-dimensional, whereas
we interpret them as 3-dimensional.
We try to interpret it, but EOS does it for you, which makes it easy.
Makes it way easier.
Yeah.
So this one's cool. All right, you want to try some of this tequila?
I do.
This beautiful
Should we
bottle.
tell our audience what? Should we tell your audience what the name of the product
I
is?
love how it's our audience. It's like, yeah, well, we're going to come back. You're a regular now, so it's our audience, okay?
We have it in record that I'm going to
yeah.
be here, episode number 22.
22, we do. Well, 11's a good one. I'm excited about that. So this was the Mandala tequila bottle I got. We have a few new sponsors here. This one was the LA Shoulder Podcast custom bottle they made me. I thought that was kind of cool. They made the label a little small. I said, hey, you guys could have made it a little bigger, but thank you for that.
You should tell them next time, cover the whole entire
this is just a practice
hexagon.
bottle, I think. Yeah, they're going to send another one.
Very nice.
And then I got this nice bottle.
I should get to know them. That's
from
a good
happy
motto.
patient.
Oh.
Yeah, so he sent me this one. So it's kind of well known now that I enjoy good bottles of tequila, especially on the show.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what this one is called. Azulejo
Qué bueno.
Tequila Repasado.
Repasado is the best.
Let's see. This is the first time I've tried it. But it looks so
I
pretty.
feel so privileged to eat it.
If you can drink tequila, you are privileged. Any tequila.
And should we tell them about the name of the product?
Oh, yeah. What's the name of the product?
It's called BAX-U.
BAX-U.
You know why?
Why?
Because it backs you up.
BAX-U.
It backs you.
Up. Cheers to that. Cheers.
Next time you hold your shoulder, remember who backs you.
Cheers to posture.
Cheers to posture.
There's little details that I've been making that changes, these little changes that have been correlating with how people do, like with their outcomes. So I tell my patients the two most important things with how you do a surgery is your surgeon, who your surgeon is and how good of a surgeon you have, and how the surgery goes that day, right? So your surgeon is the most important thing.
Yes.
And the second thing is time. Right? It really takes time for healing. If you do both of those things, eventually you'll get to a point where things are usable again.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things along the way, there's components of that treatment that may help, like this posture brace, that can be one part of it. Using the ice machine to get the inflammation down.
That's right.
And then taking the nutrition supplements before and after this major effect on your body.
Absolutely.
Surgery is a major effect on your body. And
because
so
healing is a multiple component. It's chemical as well as physical and mental.
Absolutely. And when people are not in the right mental space, we're not even talking about scheduling surgery. So we do consultation in the office. They come and see me. A lot of patients come and see me because they need surgery. They might have had a prior surgery that failed or went wrong, or they just need their problem addressed. And they've been through all of the treatment. They just know they're going to need some higher level of treatment. So I give them the options, and it comes from either just continuing without it. A lot of times biologics are discussed now,
right?
And then it may be a full replacement. And the replacements for me, I've gotten these a lot better over time, and the technical aspects of that. But I've also gotten better of identifying how people are going to do when you come in and see me. So I can give you a realistic outlook on your treatment plan before and after surgery. So we say we're doing the shoulder replacement. We know, a lot of this has been, our show.
Right.
And that's kind of how I talk too. It's like, this is what we're doing because it's our surgery. They have it, but I got to do it. And it's for both of us. And we're both invested in them doing well. So it's really a conversation where we both agree on the diagnosis. We both agree on the treatment plan. And then we get to the point of having to go through that. And the people that do the best are the ones that kind of follow the protocol. They take the nutrition, so crucial. Yeah, they're following up on time. They're doing the restrictions. They're taking the shower on the right days. They're calling me. I give them my number. You have surgery, I give you my number. And it's only for questions to clarify. So really it comes down to having that communication in my patients getting better. And then I send them wherever they need to go for therapy, and a lot
preferably to me.
Well, yeah. If they need guided therapy, a lot of the surgeries that I do is you have to learn how your body's now working again, and that's the second part. Like I said, it takes time, and so therapists and all these treatments that we're doing, like yourself, these are helping people along the way while they heal.
Absolutely.
But if the first thing was a screwed up surgery or something went wrong, it's just
everything is going to be.
It's never going to heal right.
That's right.
That's why I take pride in that and knowing that, okay, hey, you're off to a good start. Let's go. And then we'll follow up when you need to see me again, but they're going to be fine. I see that takes time. And then it's the things they do along the way. And then that's how they say, hey, that was a really great outcome. Right.
Super important to be on the same team.
Yeah.
And I think that emotional component we talked about, we're not going to go there, is like, if there's like one thing that the listeners are going to take or viewers are going to take with them is you have to feel good about your doctor. when you have that feel good, that's your innate intelligence, that's your subconscious. And for a woman, that's our intuition that it is going to be fine. And when you put that out in the universe will deliver, like an Amazon delivery. Right
on time. Yeah. Prime delivery.
Exactly. You don't need to worry about the details. What you need to worry about, you know what? I'm going to walk in and I'm going to work with this doctor and it's going to be amazing. If you just wholeheartedly say that to the universe will bring it up to you.
Have you had surgery before?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Orthopedic surgery?
No, not orthopedic.
Oh,
yes,
well,
I was in a head-on
scary.
collision on the freeway, so I had abdominal surgery.
Jeez.
I had a life after death experience.
That's major.
But I knew I'm going to be fine. I knew. They didn't think that I'm going to be fine. I was like on a 1% chance of living.
What?
Well, because I had a life after death experience in
God.
the car accident.
You went to a coma?
I went on the other side.
You died?
I died.
You died and came back?
I was shipped back. I did not want to come back.
That's
I was
crazy.
happy there.
Tell me about that. What happened? I saw a terrible accident yesterday on the road with all this rain.
Yeah, these rains, yeah.
I saw multiple terrible accidents.
Yeah,
So-
I think this is a pretty interesting. So
Everybody just
that was
needed
in
to, like, take a check.
1991.
So what happened with that injury?
Okay, so I'm a student and I'm going to see my dentist. And I pour myself some hot tea as I'm driving. Instead of coffee, I thought I'm going to have some hot tea. And my car was the model right before they had airbags. So I'm driving. I'm in San Francisco. I'm at Berkeley, pre-med major. I was going to be a medical doctor. And then I'm going to see my dentist 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And as I'm driving, the freeway merges with another freeway, but it has to go through something like an isthmus, right? Where the lanes become just 2 lanes, one going forward, one going the other way. And it's just a little short span of distance. I pick up my tea to drink it. As I look up, the sun hits me through the visors. I blink, the tea drops, falls on my lap. I lose control of the car, and I take the wheel to the left. I miss an 18-wheeler by about maybe 2 inches. And then I go back to the other side. Then I come back and I'm totally lost control of this wheel. I have nothing. I have no control whatsoever. Yeah. Then I make another left and I get T-boned by a pickup truck. And my car is just into the meadows, flips over a couple of times, and there I am.
Wow.
And that's when I had the life after death experience.
So did you black out during that time?
I blacked out totally. And I went to the other side. I was in a very peaceful,
what happened?
Happy sleep. It was nice.
What was it like?
Quiet.
What did you see?
It was dark. It was pitch black dark, but it was not scary. It was welcoming. It was warm. It was comfortable. It was like when you hold your mom and you're a kid and you're scared and you hold your mom or your dad and you have that security and you close your eyes and you know you're going to be okay, right? And then something said, Romina, get up. I kind of pretended I didn't listen because it was such a good feeling. And it said, get up. So I opened my eyes and I saw my entire life flash by me.
That's what I was going to ask you. So that happened after?
Entire life flash by me. Flash. I don't even think that there is it's like milliseconds. But in that milliseconds, you see every detail. You see the veins on a leaf and you see the laces on my dress when I was doing hopscotch outside in my brand new dress that my mom told me I shouldn't be doing it. I remember every emotion, every scenario, every picture, every memory. And then my eyes open. And then another interesting thing.
Where did you open your eyes? Like
I was still in the car. They were sewing off the car because it had crumbled.
Yeah.
So the fire department was sewing off the car, and there was a doctor who stopped by, an ophthalmologist who stopped by.
Oh, thank God, an eye doctor.
I know, an eye doctor is like,
no, sir, my eyes are fine.
Let me see your eyes.
It's good, I can see. I was just seeing darkness.
Poor guy.
He's like, you're seeing darkness.
Yes, God bless him.
Let me check those eyes again.
May blessing goes back to him 100
Okay,
folds.
so this life-saving ophthalmologist.
So this poor guy leaned over. He was he was truly dressed like a doctor. We're like casual.
Like a white coat on.
He had like a suit and
His
a tie, glasses.
Yeah.
Yes, salt and pepper hair.
Okay.
And but I was such a state of shock. I couldn't talk. It was just, my vocal cords were not active, right?
God,
they were
yeah.
just shut down.
Yeah.
So I held on to his thigh as if that's the last branch in the world, and I'm sinking, right?
Yeah.
So I held on to his thigh. Probably he choked, right? And and that was like okay, I'm back and I'm holding, I'm here. They put me in the ambulance. Talk about an experience.
That's wild.
Then they forget to put the oxygen mask on me, and then I can't breathe now. Now I'm banging on the door and the panel of the ambulance, and they finally put the thing on. Take me into the hospital, and I had a rupture of my duodenum. 7 layers of the chest cavities were torn. Spleen was cut by my fractured rib.
Yeah.
Liver was cut by the fractured rib.
Oh, wow.
Wrist was broken. I was black and blue from neck all the way to my ankles.
Did you have to get you didn't have to get your wrists fixed with a plate or anything?
No, they just put a cast on it, and it healed well. But
did you have a head injury?
Must have.
Yeah.
Must have had, for sure. I'm sure positively with that. Mm-hmm. But I had severe internal bleeding, and the bleeding was so severe that the surgeons decided that they're not going to do surgery because I wouldn't make it till tomorrow morning. So my mom went nay on them. My mother just put that whole hospital, turn it upside down. So she forced them to have a surgery on me. But when they were wheeling me to the hospital, to the surgery room, I knew I'm going to be fine because I was sent back to do something. My mission was not over in this world. Whatever has been tasked to me by higher powers, it needs to be fulfilled. So I made a pact with God. I do my best to take care of his children or her children. He'll take care of me so I could come back as in one piece, not with any kind of surgical disadvantages or disabilities, because then I wouldn't be able to fulfill my promise.
Did that affect you? Like after that, did you have a different kind of outlook, or did that experience kind of change anything for you? It
made me feel like everything is not as big as a deal I used to make it. I used to make everything a big deal, right? Trauma. But then it wasn't as much. It made me more resilient. It helped me bounce back. You know, we all have ups and downs in our lives, you know, emotionally, financially, physically, everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes us so beautiful, because of our experiences and our differences.
And it can make you stronger.
I bounce back, knock on wood. I hope that doesn't change. I bounce back
it's
from,
copper.
I know.
It's copper.
Where's that chair? Where's the wood that we needed? Here we go.
So it's metal
there we
copper
go.
Right here.
So I bounce back from life challenges much faster.
Yeah.
I've just learned to bounce back. Like, okay, you know, let's go. Because I really think I owe my first life when I was born to my mother, and I also owe my second chance to my mother. If it wasn't for her, I would not be here.
Oh, moms are great.
Moms are the best.
Yeah, moms are the best.
If you haven't told your mom I love you, love her, do it right now.
Definitely.
Right now. Text her immediately with an emoji.
Yeah, well, because, you know, moms are, if there's any person that actually cares about you, it's your mom. That's what I
Truly,
like.
no matter where you are, how old you are.
At least your mom should care.
No matter where you are.
You know, we're not all fortunate like that to always have a mom for a long time, but fortunately I am. And so I agree with you. Yeah, you got to let them know. But they teach you things even over time. So I think that moms have a real special place. Yeah. But it's really challenges. You know, challenges is what make you stronger. Like the hard things, I tell my boys, like, you know, the easy stuff is sometimes it gets boring, right? It's like, if it's easy, it may not be worth doing all the time, but things that are harder tend to be more valuable. And when you go through struggle, or you go through like a giant calamity, like that major car accident, you know, those can be life altering. And they just sometimes makes you be a little more humble, you know, about your life, your day to day, like
absolutely
thankful that I'm still here.
Very grateful. So, every morning that I wake up, I have immense gratitude for the day. And then how can I maximize this day, right? Yeah. And I think subconsciously, I don't know, somebody told me this because they're a very spiritual person, by far more than me, right? And she told me that, Romina, have you noticed that everything you do in your life, the profession you chose, the products you created, is to help people stand up?
Yeah, right. You're doing good for the
right?
world. It's
I
a
think,
good thing. It's a net positive. It's a positive.
I'm aligned with my purpose, no
Yeah.
pun intended,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
As a chiropractor.
That's good. I like that. But, it's like a lot of people, patients might come in and see, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but, I assess mood and there's patients that come in and see me and, you can tell they're dealing with other things and
That's
they're
right.
having this problem.
That's
And
right.
now it's just adding on to all their other problems. But just talking about that kind of opens them up sometimes. And they
Yes.
even sometimes like have a little kind of like realization that
Yes.
like, oh no, I'm just going through a lot of problems right now. It's not
Yes.
all the time.
That's right.
You might have some of those problems all the time, but now you got this other one to deal with, but I'm here to help you through that, And so if you put it in perspective, sometimes these people have just you're going through so much that you don't even have the energy to get better. Right? Like my shoulder hurts now. I got all these other things. This guy's telling me I need to have surgery. They're just like, bah.
I know.
It's just like, I can't handle it. You
know what they call
it? And so
it?
you got to, I tell them, you just got to go day by day.
One step at a time.
Step at a time.
Exactly.
You're just going to focus. This is the plan. You're like, you do need surgery. Okay.
Right.
But you don't have to do it right now. Or you may not need surgery and it's going to get better in this amount of time. So like now that we can see where this is going to go, all the other stuff is the other stuff. But all these studies show, and what I really see is that stuff affects how your shoulder's doing. It affects what you're coming in for.
Absolutely.
And it affects how you do.
Absolutely.
Even once I tell you what the issues are. Mm-hmm. So, you put in perspective and you get your kind of stress under control and you start managing them one at a time. And then patients come in and see me and they have a shoulder and they have a hip and they have a knee and they just went through all this other stuff. And the same thing, the conversation is always the same. We're going to do this one step at a time.
That's
and then your
right.
shoulder I'll treat your shoulder when you're ready for it. Your shoulder is ready for care, but you're not. Right?
That's right.
So like you get that fixed and then we'll do it together later.
That's right. There's this concept that I studied in one of the self-powering courses that I took, the classes that I've taken, is because, we're constantly improving ourselves, right? And this course, like, imagine your troubles are like leaves in a wind tunnel and you're standing in the middle. In order to bring that chaos in your mind under control, to take one leaf and put it right down, then take the other one, then take the other one. So how do you eat a whale of problems or that's on your shoulder? One bite at a time. That's it.
I've never eaten whale,
but the expression.
Maybe big fish.
English is my second language, so
we have big fish on our backs.
We have big fish.
Big fish to fry is what.
But how do you do it? One thing at a time. I think the one thing that you have most control about is the pain is the most distracting thing you could ever have, right? It robs the talented people from their creativity. It robs family from spending time together. It robs a personality that's happy and jolly into being sensitive and reactive, right? Pain is the first thing you want to get out of the way so you can handle everything else that's in your way.
I have a patient that was having a hard time writing music because his shoulders hurt every day. So he couldn't focus on the songwriting because he needed this time to just sit and focus on it.
That's exactly what I tell my patients. Where my clinic is in downtown Los Angeles, I am surrounded by artists all the time, all different types, musicians, painters, like any sort of art. And for that group of people that are so talented and gifted with this talent, they cannot afford to be in pain because it robs them silently away from their talent. Yeah. Then because they haven't been fulfilling their purpose, they go under a mental failed purpose status. So they just, their body crushes. They are, you see them like sighing a lot because they're so afraid of standing up.
Because it hurts too much.
Because they're afraid of failing again.
Yeah.
Why? Because that failure was caused by something that was out of their. And you are here.
And it just keeps adding up and building up.
Exactly.
And it's just too big of a hill to climb.
Exactly. Tony Robbins, I don't know if have you heard of him?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Tony Robbins,
like
in his motivational speaker, he changes people by having them look at their life in a different way. And in his first course, it's called Unleash the Power Within. He says that you are a powerful human being. You're a powerful being, period. Right? But how do you wake your inner warrior is to change your status, which is your physical body, and change your physiology, change your state, which means that change your physical body. Yeah. And then your mental state follows. He's a very big guy. He's big.
Like fit too, right?
He's fit. Yeah. He's big on his social status on how he's changed people's lives.
It goes together, one hand in hand. Is your mental health and your physical health.
Exactly.
You can still be healthy mentally and not be in the best physical shape, but if you're taking those steps to get healthy, it's just better and better, and it connects your mental and physical health. And then if you can stay that way, you just kind of maintain it.
So that's how you stay that way.
Yeah, it gets easier to stay that way.
Because Tony Robbins was the instigator that I created my first product. Because I thought, okay, Tony, I'm in your course 4 days, 12, 13 hours a day, and woohoo, go on, and but how do you sustain that? My God, how do you sustain that?
Yeah.
So I created the brace, and I made it Medicare approval. So it's a figure 8 shoulder orthosis.
That's amazing.
And then from that came the activewear, all under the premises of change your physiology, change your mental state. Universe will work for you. Like your whole visual field changes.
Especially if you're doing good for the universe or for the world. I think it helps. Did you, I mean, it's pretty impressive that you developed that. You made this idea into a thing.
Passion.
I always find that very cool.
I have to answer up there.
But do you have other lines, or do you have other ideas, or do you have other current products along those lines?
Yes. I also, during COVID, I created a home posture kit that you can actually buy it on Amazon, and that is also, it's called Home Kit.
Home Kit.
Yeah.
Well, what does it do?
So there's 7 items there that's based off of the chiropractic biophysics and corrective care program, and that you could utilize at home, that retrains your muscle memory into a better body position. That's it. That's what it does. It's a 12-step program. It's simple. It's easy. It's travel friendly, and it could turn any chair into an ergonomic chair. So creates the position and the environment so you minimize your damages and also help with that. Mm-hmm. It's fun. So the package I created is literally 40% less in cost than if you buy each item individually.
I see.
And I got that. And it's covered under FSA, HSA.
Gotcha.
So whether somebody wants to spend $60, they buy the brace.
How do you get products that you make? How do you get them covered by FSA, HSA?
I hired a specialist that connected it, assigned the product.
Because a lot of patients ask me that the products, they want those covered.
Yes. Some products Medicare approve, some products don't.
It's dependent on Medicare?
Depending on Medicare and depending on your coding and how you develop that product for that particular condition.
And you submit it, and then they either approve it?
You submit it. You just need a doctor's note. So your patients can easily use their FSA, HSA when you say you need this shirt for for any of my devices.
Oh, great. So say if I had a patient that was watching this and they're interested and they said, I want the BAX-U posture device, how would they go about getting it?
Either contact you or contact me. We do telehealth. If they want it to be covered under FSA,
I see. So
then that would be a telehealth. Yeah, because I can't just say, here you go, you need this. Right. I have to have substantial reasoning of why you need this.
Yeah, but then it can get covered.
Then it's covered by FSA, HSA. Done.
Cool.
Pre-tax.
I think that could benefit a lot of my patients. They would be interested in that, because I do have people asking about braces, and I think this is maybe a different way to think of bracing, right? Yes. It's more of like a posture kind of feedback, something that's very wearable.
That's right.
That my patients could benefit from.
For pre and post surgery support.
Yeah, for the right people, if they're interested, for sure. I think if you make things accessible and easy, I have a reason.
Compliance increases.
Yeah, of course. If they don't have a reason for doing it, and it's just, this is just what we do.
You know who would really appreciate that? Your physical therapist. Because if you had to put $1 aside for personal trainer and physical therapist for every time they said, bring your shoulders back, bring your head back, which is posture, right? Right. They literally will be millionaires, because that's what everybody does.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's working. It's finally working. Everybody's doing it.
Come on. But if your activewear already does that for you,
right, then
your physical therapist, your personal trainer, your chiro,
they can move on to other things.
They can move on to the core balance, core strength, conditioning, neuroproprioceptive retraining.
Yeah, it doesn't take the place. It helps complement.
It complements, exactly.
And so how do you recommend?
My God, we talked about everything.
What?
We talked about everything.
Everything?
I know. No.
Okay.
This is a beautiful chat.
Oh no, it's great. That's why I did this so I could talk to you for longer. I just wanted to get to know what you know, because I don't know and I want to know more.
Yeah.
But what do you think the best way to strengthen your back muscles is? Like, what would you say if somebody wants to do posture strengthening?
Lat pull downs.
lat pull downs.
Lat pull downs are the best.
Yeah.
But so I can talk to you about
like with a band, like a TheraBand.
either or
resistance band.
Yes, either or. But I'll
or
tell
a machine.
you. Let me break it down on how you should do lat pull downs. Okay.
Yeah, because I want to know that too.
First and foremost,
I don't know. Should I do them way out here and go here, or should I kind of be more here?
I am gonna tell you, my friend. Let me tell you. Okay, so let's not make it complicated. Let's say you're at home or you're traveling.
KISS
you're
technique.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Grab a belt or a scarf. Right. And what you do, you grab that and you grab it on both hands. You make sure that your elbows and your shoulder are at a 90-degree angle.
Okay.
Right. So your elbow is at the level of your shoulder.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to lift up your arms so your elbows are straight.
Okay.
Now, what you notice, your head goes forward.
Yeah, I'd go like
that. That is the damaging effect. You want to bring your head back, move your fist back, and then you're going to pull down. And touch the back of your head and squeeze between your shoulder blades.
Touch the back of my head?
No, touch the belt. Touches the back of your head.
Oh, yeah. It should be behind my head.
The worst thing that people do, and I see this in the gym, and I feel like I have to be that person that goes and tells people everything, right?
Let me just hang on. Let me just affect a little.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm a chiropractor, but I noticed.
Need to touch you for a second.
Exactly.
Hang on. Let me touch you. I have to realign you.
Yes.
So you help people.
I start by saying, hey, I'm a chiropractor, because
that's kind
of like do I have your permission? Do you mind?
Yeah.
I noticed, and I don't want you to be my patient. Let me tell you something.
That's hilarious.
Let me give you a little tip. So whatever activity that you do for your back or even walking, right, on the treadmill, you want to make sure that your earlobe, middle of your shoulder, and your hips are in one alignment. Earlobes.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, your earlobes and your shoulders have to be in proper alignment with your hip.
Okay, I like that.
So if you have forward head carriage and rounded shoulders, yes, your earlobe and your shoulders are matching, but they're far away from your hip.
The spine guys call that sagittal balance.
Exactly.
Right? If they're too far back. People do not like if they're out of balance. You're kind of pushed over. Like if your head is over your feet too far, it's not comfortable.
Oh, you know why?
And you have to bend your knees, you contracture.
There's a whole science behind that.
Yeah.
So your head weighs...
Ears over pelvis, over
ears
ankles.
over middle of shoulders and your hips.
And hips.
Right?
Okay. Ears, shoulders, hips.
Now, if you stand like that and somebody pushes you, you're so strong. But if you're slouching and somebody pushes you, you're going to trip. You're going to trip and fall, right? That goes the same when you're doing exercises for your lower body. You have to maintain that rule. If you're leaning over, you're on a bike, on a cycling class, make sure your earlobe, hip, and shoulder are lined up. You're a lot more powerful, less pressure on your knees, your hips, and also your shoulder and your elbows, right? Now stay with me.
Okay, I'm here.
Stay here. Don't go away. Don't go away. Stay with me.
I keep thinking about my ears. I'm like, I have my ears over my shoulders. I've never thought, I'm always probably too far, and I don't know, especially if I'm benching or if I'm exercising, I'm like, where should my head be?
Yes. Oh, the worst thing.
People are like, where should
the thing that
too
kind
far
of
forward?
It stops me on my tracks when I'm in the gym. When people do sit-ups by bouncing their head forward. Oh my God, I want to die.
Yeah, like that, right?
Oh my God. That's like, okay, you're enforcing straight neck, back to back to back.
That's another good. So if you're doing a sit-up, you're in that same
If you're doing
alignment.
a sit-up, you have to lift
Ear,
up.
shoulder.
Yes, your elbow, your position is exactly the same, right? Your hands are behind your ears, which is touching your scalp, right? Right at the base of your skull, right? Then your elbows are out, but what you lift with your chest and chin, not with your head. You're not a bouncing bob.
Right.
You're not bobbity head.
So your ears are right over your shoulder.
Your ears are aligned with your shoulder, and you lift up from your chest.
And they maintain that.
And you maintain that. Yes, I'd rather you do 5 correct ones than 50 incorrect ones than wonder, why am I having neck pain and upper back pain?
Probably same thing with a push-up, right? Like your push-up should be...
Your push-up alignment. Just think of that. If you think of that, or another thing, if you don't remember that, all that 3 points, your chin always has to be parallel to the ground.
What if you have a low chin and you're just like...
You still lift up your head back. Exactly.
Okay. Keep your mouth shut.
Keep it up. Yeah,
right.
keep it up.
These I told you the modeling days, right? So that's part of the modeling days.
Is it? I've never done
the
modeling.
Chin flat to the floor. Are you sure?
I've never done modeling.
Believe you. I don't believe you. So chin flat here, ears parallel with your shoulders to your pelvis. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're ready. Now we're ready to start the day.
Now ready.
so that'll keep you in perfect alignment.
That would keep you. Now that
everything
we
else
talked
is just damaging you, right? Like if you're doing too much of this.
Oh, the bobbity head does not work at all.
That's not good.
No, that bouncing with the head forward. Oh my God, I just want to die. But now we talked about the fun stuff. Let me give you the science behind what I just said.
But so learning sit-ups and learning push-ups, they're complex movements.
They're
and it's
very
something that
complex
you think is
movements.
basic. You learn when you're in grade school and you've probably been doing it wrong or you're compensating and you're just now straining your neck. And I'm literally still learning how to do a good push-up and a good sit-up.
Push-up. Just try this.
With good form. This is going to change it. Now that I start to think about that alignment.
And also as an orthopedic surgeon, one of the things that you will notice, most of your patients that have shoulder problem also have a secondary C5, C6 disc protrusion. Definitely, right? And that was the same guy that was doing that bouncing head when they were doing sit-ups because they were enforcing straight neck. Straight neck causes pressure on the disc. The disc will exactly.
It's not good to have a straight neck.
No, it's terrible. Terrible. It's the worst thing you could do because it sets you up for injury. It does. It's what a straight neck does for your spine is what a overbite or underbite does for your jaw.
Right. Yeah. And then that could be happening over time after time, repetitive trauma.
Yes,
you injured and getting worse.
Classic case of probably some, I know some of the audience that are listening to this and they're like, oh my God, rolling their eyes. That's me, right?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. You're sitting behind a desk in some kind of administrative work, right? You're there for about 8 hours. You take 2 breaks and a lunch break so that you take 3 times, you stand up, you walk around. But the other times you're dived into your electronic device. So your head is forward. That takes away your curve right there and then. Done. Then you get in the car, forward head carriage. Then you go to the gym and you have this bouncing sit up because you're trying to compensate for that 8 hours of work, right? Mm-hmm. Now, all that is going to damage the proper curve of your neck. It's just that simple. It changes the alignment.
And it's segment after segment.
And then your head weighs about 8 to 15 pounds, right? So if your head weighs about 8 to 15 pounds, that's like a bowling ball. If that bowling ball is sitting on a straight wrist, it's going to cause a lot of pressure on the elbows and shoulders, right? Same thing because of the lever system. So for every 1 inch that your earlobe is in front of your shoulder, like in that forward head position, there's an extra 10 pounds of pressure on your upper back, 30 pounds more, 3 times more on your lower back. So if you're at admin work and you've never had any heavy physical activity, you bend over to pick up something and your back gives out on you, don't be surprised.
Right.
Because it came from your upper body.
And you're not activating those muscles together. You're not putting everything together and saying, I'm gonna move this. I'm going to move it. Let me think about where my body is to start.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Let me make sure I align everything and I hold it and then I do it the right way. And if you just do it without thinking about, I'm going to grab it.
It's like, you
injure yourself. You twist something.
Totally.
Because now you just stress something that should not have been stressed like that.
It has been so stressed.
Injury.
Yeah, it has been so micro-stressed that one last move is the last straw on a camel's back. That's why my return rate is 0.01%, because people put their body in the proper position and then you can do whatever you want to do.
There's been damage happening. They just don't know it. You don't know it because it's subclinical. You don't know the damage you're doing. Like when you're a kid and you're sitting in the chair for hours a day.
Exactly.
But you probably are okay as a kid, right? But maybe as
not
you
really. That's where it starts. Have you seen the kids these days?
Well, you're probably, as you're growing,
they're
probably
diving
getting
into
these
their tablets.
Adaptations.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So you're growing into these problems.
That's right. That's right.
It's probably worse.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So early correction, early detection. Most people don't do anything about it because people have 2 types of reactions to pain. They either abandon it. Oh, ignore it. It's going to go away. Oh, I just pop a pill or here or two while the problem is still going. And then the people that attack it. The people that attack the problem head on. And they see me, they see you, they get on a course of treatment, no matter what scale of their journey of health and wellness they're in, They are the winners. They're the ones that are going to be playing pickleball at 70, 80 years old. The ones that abandoned it, ignored it, shoved it under the rug, those are the ones that are going to end up with severe complications. Because you are an amazing surgeon. Your reputation speaks for itself. But when somebody comes in with severe osteoporosis, degeneration of the joint, torn labrum, as well as tendonitis, what is their chance of recovery compared to somebody that comes in that doesn't have any of those?
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
Puts you in a whole different category.
Exactly. So when you ignore and abandon the symptoms from your body, listen to it. You would do that with a piece of metal that you're driving. Like if there's an oil light that goes on, the first thing you do, you're like in the shop.
Yeah.
You're there.
Pay attention to it.
Why would you pay more attention to something that's replaceable and has probably 1% value of what your entire body does and stays with you for the entirety of your life compared to a car that you leased it for 2 years? Why? Take care of yourself. We are here to help. We've been educated, we've been trained, we've been experienced. We go on conferences for 12, 24, 36 hours every single year just to maintain our agility in our profession so we can serve you, so you can live a better life. If you're better, your spouse is better, your partner is better, you have more time with your kids, you enjoy your life better. And because you're a happier person, you create a happier environment in your community, at your workplace. So that pain that comes into your life, it is your responsibility to take care of you, not just for you, but for all the people that you come in touch.
How do you think those changes happen? Like, how do you think people make those steps? I know what I did, and there were some things that happened because I always kind of did athletics and I worked out, but I wasn't able to kind of get those changes in my physical wellness. And then everything kind of started coming together during a certain time. It was
I think it's just the ratio. How do
people do that?
The ratio of solution to the ratio of damage. You do an hour of workout, but you have 8 hours of micro trauma. It's pressure.
You have a lot of work to do.
It's Wolff's law, right?
Yeah.
Pressure over time creates change.
In response to stress.
So you could have small pressure, like a poor performance or athletic injury, over you could have a high pressure over a short period of time, like an athlete, or you could have small pressure over a long period of time, like somebody who sits behind a desk and they dive into their work, or teenagers that are creating videos on their laptop on a beanie bag. You're 10, 11, 12-year-olds.
When I was a kid, I didn't have a cell phone. I had a computer. I used a little bit here and there, but it wasn't like every day I was down. And I see my kids, and the iPad is part of their daily routine, and they go to school and they're always on the screens too. There's a clear change in one generation, and I think the next generation, do you think there's going to be physical adaptations? So we kind of alluded to that, but do you think there's these physical changes that are going to happen in response to all this technology in kids and them developing with this technology that's different than you and I growing up?
Absolutely.
Do you think there's going to be postural changes?
Absolutely. Also consider the fact that not only today, you and I go to Costco, go to grocery store, right? We go somewhere that has a lot of line. We notice the guy or the girl that is standing up straight and has good posture because everybody else has something else. Yeah. Just because
they're like this on their phone.
Exactly.
Everybody.
It's
like rare that you're not on your phone.
Then you have the ones that are in pain. They're the ones that are leaning on the cart. The cart leaners, right? But
that's me. I hang on the cart. I'm like,
exactly.
These kids.
But just because it's common does not mean it's right. Now, I'm going to talk to you about something else that is beyond physiology. We have had, did you know that 2 out of 3 people with mental health disorder have a history of chronic musculoskeletal injury?
No.
Because pain turns you into a grumpy person.
Yeah.
It either makes you aloof, it either makes you angry, it makes you emotionally roller coaster, right? It makes you lack of attention. Right.
And sometimes it makes you feel like you don't want to bother other people with your problems. You're like, I need help with this, but
exactly. And then sometimes you want to distract the pain, so you become hyperactive. So have you noticed in the past 2 decades, we've had higher incidence of ADD, ADHD, emotionally stressed people.
Teen anxiety.
Exactly. Yeah. Anxiety, all of those are causing those are repetitive injuries to the musculoskeletal system. You want to help that child.
Stress is physical. It becomes physical.
Exactly. Yeah. And it goes back again to what Tony Robbins said. Change your physiology, change your mental state. You want to make somebody happy, take them for a walk.
Exercise helps me. When I exercise,
immediately.
We talked about sweating earlier, but even just exercising, if I go to failure, like jujitsu, I do jujitsu and I train, or if I'm exercising really hard for an hour and I get to that, I can't do any more, that's usually pretty good. And I'm pretty good the rest of the day. Or if I go a few, like say 2 or 3 days, about 3 days is my max. If I go 3 days and I haven't really exercised, I was sick recently and that happened, and I just felt congested with my body and my stress, and I'm like, I must go. I must exercise today
because you
otherwise
notice
I'm going to be a real grumpy cat.
Oh, I'm very happy. I exercised today too. I think that's why we both are smiling.
Sure.
I don't know if the tequila helps or
not.
Well,
exercise in the morning, podcast, little tequila. That's the perfect balance. 80-20 rule. My friend taught me. So 80% healthy, 20%. Play around a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you're physically active, you're happy.
Oh, totally.
Totally. Yeah, could be as simple as walking.
It's like having a little armor on.
It's the cheapest thing you could do.
Barrier.
The cheapest thing you could do anywhere in the world is walking. Anywhere. Just take a walk
around here. I like
it's gorgeous
hills.
around here.
Yeah,
I was driving
trail walking or running.
It's beautiful.
Get away from the city a little bit. But I've always liked that. Is like I need more nature and quiet. Because I like exercising outside. If I can go on my stationary bike, it's fine, but I'll run outside with my dog or take him for a bicycle ride. He doesn't ride the bike, but he likes to run. So some days I just go on my bike and get outside. But just being outside in the morning, I think, Andrew Huberman? He does the Huberman podcast, the guy from Stanford, real smart neuroscientist. And he talks about the ability of your eye, the retina gets the light in the morning. That changes your mood for the whole day. If you get a screen first thing in the morning, if you're on Instagram or whatever, don't do that first thing in the day because it screws you up the whole day.
That's right.
It causes this repetitive thought of screens. But if you go outside, as soon as the sun is up and you get physical light in your retina, it changes your mood the whole day. And I started doing that early in the morning. I was like, take my dog outside, go for a run or walk. And it was get the baby out there, get everybody out there that you can. Don't go on the screens. And then everybody just seems to have less issues the whole day.
That's right.
And we don't fight as much.
That is so nice.
Yeah. So it really does work.
Yes, it does. I'm a morning person, workout. That's what I do.
You work out in the morning?
I work out in the morning. That's like sets my day. My staff are much happier when I work out in the morning.
What do you like to do? What's your week like if you do an exercise routine?
How do
you balance that with work?
Oh my God, it is challenging. So most of my workout starts around 6. That's where I work out.
Oh, early.
Early.
And you work out at home?
I work out at home. I have a beautiful backyard, and I take my yoga mat and my laptop. I turn on YouTube. So I have a beautiful selection of whatever I want. Mm-hmm. So I either choose 30 minutes or 45 or an hour, depending on if I have a meeting in the morning or not, if I have to be at work early. And the best part of my workout, okay, I do all that. It's a HIIT workout. It's a high intensity workout.
Like with weights?
I use resistive bands.
Oh, so you have bands and you go outside and you have a mat.
Yes.
And then you'll just work out with a video.
I work out with everything with a video. But here's the best part of my workout, when I have to do sit-ups. Because I lay on the mat and I look up and all I see is a blue sky and green trees.
So you're getting double.
I am getting
outside,
double.
You're getting all the light.
Yes.
You're getting the
efficiency.
benefits of working out.
Yes.
Me too. Efficiency.
Yes. Efficiency.
Efficiency makes me happy.
Yes.
I might be doing one thing well, but if I could be doing 2 things well at the same time,
it just has a sense of accomplishment. Like you feel like, you kind of beat the system.
Yeah,
like, oh my God, and I got this and I got that. Yeah.
Right. So especially day managers, like if you manage your day well, you kind of have to be efficient with your time, because then you can get multiple things done throughout the 24-hour day. Plus you got to sleep. Right. And I don't believe in not sleeping well. So you got to get your sleep in. That's the most important part of recovery. You just adjust the timeline.
Yes. No, get an adjustment of your occiput C1. You sleep like a baby like that night.
How do you sleep well?
Quite well.
Do you have a soft bed?
Okay.
How do you sleep?
I'm going to share with you how I sleep. It's a little crazy.
It's okay.
But
I want to hear about it.
But it's physiologically.
Sleep is so important. I get a lot of complaints of sleep. People almost always ask me how they're going to sleep after surgery.
Send them over. I'll adjust them. They sleep like a baby that night. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
So what's your routine?
So here's my routine. Throughout the day, just like you, just like everybody else, I also am on my technology device. I'm on my screen, right? Whether I'm writing reports, responding to text messages, and as a chiropractor, my work is very physical. So at night, I roll a towel. I don't sleep with a pillow. I roll a towel and I put it under my neck. So to promote the curve in my neck. That's
so you
one.
put it behind your neck.
I put it under my neck. Exactly.
Okay.
Right. And then, you can buy a pillow called the D-Core. It's around like $35-$36 on Amazon. You could definitely do that. And then I put the palm of my feet together like in a diamond shape, right? It's like a yoga pose. And then I put my arms right behind my head. So my hands are touching. So I literally create 3 diamonds. One with the palm of my feet together. So this creates a stretching of the inner thighs. It takes away any prolonged sitting, any hip overuse. Then with the arms up, it takes away any tightness in your pectoral muscles. And with the pillow rolled under or a towel rolled under your neck, you promote the curve in your neck. You
sleep like that?
I sleep like that. And I sleep so good like that.
Wow.
I know.
That's interesting.
I know.
Do you wake up
I told
like
you
that?
It's a little crazy. It's a little out of this world.
Do you wake up like that?
No, of course not.
So
Definitely
you start
not.
that way. You fall asleep because falling asleep is a whole different thing than staying asleep.
I fall asleep that way. And I actually give that instructions to all of my patients that have hip issues.
Oh, wow. So it takes the pressure off and just kind of decompresses.
Hip and slouching issues.
Do you do anything in your lumbar spine to support that area?
Well, if you're hurting, you definitely want to put 2 pillows under your thigh and your knees.
2 pillows.
Two
so
pillows.
It kind of flexes you a little
bit.
bit.
It flexes you. It reduces the pressure on L5-S1.
Okay.
Which is the most common area for disc injuries.
And being comfortable is important for falling asleep, because if you're uncomfortable, you're not doing therapy in bed. You should be trying to fall asleep.
That's right.
And if you're suffering, you're not going to fall asleep. So getting a comfortable position that's lasting. If you're like this with your head all twisted, you're going to wake up like that.
That's the worst is like on your stomach, because you have to turn your head.
I love falling asleep on my stomach.
Maybe you can take a nap there.
It always hurts when I wake up. I wake up wrong.
Yes, because your head is rotated. So you've rotated your entire apex of the curve, C5, C6,
yeah.
right?
So sleeping on your stomach is probably not a good position to sleep in.
It's not good for your digestion. It's not good for your neck. It's not good for your hips. It's not good for nothing.
I need this clip for a lot of my patients, because probably the half of the people that complain about sleep tell me they don't know how they're going to sleep without sleeping on their stomach. And I tell them, after surgery for your shoulder, you cannot sleep on your stomach.
There's a trick to that.
No way. Or sleeping on their side.
There's a trick to that.
Side.
There's a trick to that.
Yeah, well, let's hear it, because I give them my tricks, but...
What do you tell them?
Well, I mean...
You tell me what you do, and I'll tell you what I do.
Part of it is they have to be in their sling.
Yes.
And that's for a week. So you got to figure that out. So it's usually a recliner or a wedge pillow, just so you can be somewhat upright.
Yes.
So you're not rolling over on that side. That's the key secret, I know. But do you know anything else that's helpful?
They can sleep on their good side, and they put a body pillow in the front, and they bring you their top knee, the one that they're not laying on, bend it over and roll it on the body pillow.
On top of the body pillow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, or put the pillow in between the legs. The body pillows are very helpful. And if you don't have a body pillow, section it off. Put 2 pillows in between your legs when you're on your side, and then 2 pillows right in front of you with your arm on sling. So that way they can rest their elbow right on it. Therefore, their shoulder is very protected.
Right.
This applies to people who are not in the sling as well.
And I use a sling with a pillow in it. So a lot of it's pretty secure for the shoulder.
Perfect.
So they're fine either on their back or on the other side. But they definitely need pillows if they're on their other side.
That's right. They definitely do. They need to have that support, because when you do fall asleep, your subconscious also pays attention, right? Your subconscious is awake. So if you have that barrier of a pillow, subconsciously the body will not roll over.
That's right. Right.
That's how you hack.
It kind of protects you, because
it's
you
a biohacking
roll into
system.
the pillow and you stop. It stops you.
Yes.
It's just enough to stop you.
That's right.
So that's really interesting.
That's the best thing about being a chiropractor. I have so many hacks. I have a hack for a hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me finish on sleep, and then I want to hear about the hangover. So the pillow thing with sleep, people definitely that starts to get better after about a week. They kind of figure out where they're going to sleep, how they're going to position
it takes 1 week
themselves.
It takes 3 nights actually.
3 nights.
3 nights.
And then you're fine. You just get consistent, and then you
the
can
hardest
sleep.
The hardest is the second and the third night.
Okay. Why is that?
Because that's where the actual change is going to take place.
Right.
First night you cope.
Do you find yourself you stay asleep the whole night?
would like to knock on wood, I'm a very good sleeper.
Really?
I sleep through the whole entire night.
A lot of people have problems with sleep. I can fall asleep. I have a trouble staying asleep.
Is it because maybe, a couple of things that could wake a person up between the hours of 2 to 4 in the morning or 3 to 5? If it's 2 to 4, it's typically adrenal overload, which is a stress hormone. So they're thinking about something stressful in their life. If it is between 3 to 5, it's typically a thyroid issue. So you can do a thyroid exam to make sure, rule that out.
Yeah, maybe you should check those.
And then you could also check your stress glands as well.
Yeah, I find pretty I'm pretty rested. I have a lot of energy during the day, but
yes,
but yeah, staying asleep it seemed to have changed as I got a little older. Never was a problem when I was a kid. Sleep is like not a problem when you're a kid.
Maybe you had less responsibilities as a kid.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. It starts building up.
Yes.
But I know that has a lot to do with your day, right? Your day and how much stress you have in your day, and then how you bring that all to a close by the night, so you can get ready for the next day. But
so people who are people of faith, whatever faith they are, when you pray before you go to bed, you leave all your troubles to the higher powers, and that kind of like gives you, like, here, you deal with this. I'll wake up tomorrow and let's give me a revelation or give me some guide or a sign. That reduces that load on their back or on their mind.
That's a good time to use religion for the day if you're not a kind of a daily spiritual person.
Right.
Maybe using that at night to kind of close your day.
Yes, close your day. Listen to maybe a YouTube prayer for sleep or YouTube meditation for sleep, whatever rocks your boat. I
find having conversations with my kids and my family at dinner time is a nice way to close our day. Oh,
that's the most beautiful.
One thing that we brought up that I really like is we talk about what was one thing during the day that was really hard for you? Like, what was the hardest thing that you went through for the day, right? So then they kind of talk about it. And then it's like, what was one thing that you were really happy about that just brought a lot of joy? Whatever it was, like you accomplished something or something happened that was good. And then the last part is like, what do you plan to do tomorrow? Like, what's coming tomorrow, And so we can kind of plan, at least kind of gauge what's going to happen. So maybe you're not sitting in bed just like all these things, these thoughts just like washing around. It kind of can consolidate how you felt for today, good and bad, and then like what the plans are for tomorrow, and then kind of puts your mind at ease.
That is you're a good father.
Thanks.
Good job.
But they're learning these things, and talking to them opens them up, and then I can reflect, and just asking questions and then hearing responses gets you thinking. Like, kids are just ripe for a lot of intelligence and a lot of bright ideas. And if you can just open them up, you crack them open a little bit, you can gain a lot of helpful things in your own life just by talking to kids.
Totally agree with you. Yeah. Totally agree with you.
It's just so creative.
Yes.
But if you don't engage with them, they may show creative ideas here and there. But, if you set it up, like one thing I like to do is we do a lot of art, so I'll give them like an easel or just, say, hey, you guys this is a project. You just have to do something. I don't care what you do, but you have to draw something or paint something and have it done by the end of the day, because it's like, just work on it. And then it kind of stimulates creativity. But I like it. I like it. And it gets better as they get older.
That's wonderful. You take them into a whole creative world, which is the higher vibrational frequency
trying to make good people, hopefully.
That's really good. Yes, you are. You're doing a great job.
But I have selfish interests too, because I'm teaching them instruments so that we can jam together, play music and stuff. So
I was at a fundraising gala last night, and I met with a lady that was, she brought in music to brands, and she was a singer. And one of the things that she said that just totally wowed me, she said, before you could see, before you could speak, before you could feel, you could hear.
Yeah.
You could hear.
Yeah.
So sound.
In the womb, you can hear music.
Exactly.
And people talking.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And you could actually change cellular activities with music.
My son, when he hears songs I distinctly remember he was listening to when he was in the womb, it calms him down. Yeah, he just has this connection with music. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He used to be a kicker. He would just kick. And then he would.
He was like, I'm a soccer player. I'm going to come out.
We're like, this kid's going to be a soccer player.
Yes.
But music calms him down for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, he loves it.
That's a phenomenon. That's a whole different category of therapy for a lot of neurosensory disorder spectrum.
Do you play instruments?
I don't.
But
I
you
dance.
have a good ear and you listen to music. Or do you like music?
I dance. I'm
Dance.
a big dancer.
So you move your body to
I
music.
move my body to the melodies. That's how I see it.
When did you start dancing? And what kind of dance do you like?
Well, I'm Persian, so we do a lot
Cultural
of
dancing?
cultural dancing. Yes. I started probably like when I was 2.
So it's part of you.
My parents were very they were very much in love, and there was always music and dancing in our house.
Oh,
Always.
that's nice.
Always.
That's nice.
Yeah, so dancing, and then I learned tango about 12 years ago because it's the best dance for your posture, and it brings couples together. They say couples that dance tango together. That's an Argentinian saying. That couples that dance together have less likelihood of getting divorced.
I was gonna say, yeah, that you're very well connected.
Which
Kind
is
of a
salsa as well
sexy
in the
dance, right? Like
in the Hispanic community as well.
a lot of movement that are good posture.
Good posture. You're not literally
too.
you're not touching at all.
Yeah.
Your contact point is just the fingertips to the other person's body, but it's your posture, and you lead with your sternum.
It's the contact points that are important. Because you're not having all of this.
Exactly. And it's just a little wave, and the person knows the next step where they rotate to right, left, go back, go forward. It's a very beautiful dance.
I find that the more people I talk to, the more interested I get in understanding other people and understanding that human connection that people talk about, but like having that physical connection with people when you give a hug or you have a good handshake, or somebody touches your hand and you're having a hard time. It's like those little things can just like connect people and generate this like energy sharing that I think doesn't happen if you don't have physical touch.
I agree.
Yeah, you think so too?
Very much.
I feel really important.
I feel it with my patients.
It's like if it helps every day, like you need some physical touch in your life.
I think, and there was a study that an average person needs 14 hugs a day.
Really, 14 hugs? That sounds great. 14 hugs sounds wonderful.
So look at the hugs. I mean, it could be like you hug your kids, right? Yeah. 2-3 times a day. You hug your spouse and your partner. Yes, grab them and hug.
It's like, sorry,
you see your friends.
Right
you see your friends. Hey, buddy, you need that human interaction. We are not amoebas.
Kids need to be touched,
loved and touched
and held, and and know that it's important that these things are important.
Yes.
That it's okay, because otherwise, the studies in little monkeys when they were born, if they don't have that touch, they get ostracized and they have no ability to ever regain that social connection. So early on, the more you touch babies, the more you touch your kids, the more you hug them, they become stronger people.
That's
right.
That
actually develop. It's not, hey, you need a hard life now so you'll be tough later. That doesn't work. You need a loving, caring life now with lots of grabbing and hugs and touch and physical connection. So that way they know, oh, when I'm out in the world, home is safe and loving, but the world is dangerous. And so then they know how to handle conflict.
That's right.
So it's really important. And I try to do that as much as possible and get them doing it with each other. Like boys need to play and be physical, and they're always grabbing each other. It's like, what are you guys doing? Stop touching each other so much.
You know how in kindergarten kids like have a disagreement. They're like, okay, now hug and kiss and make up. Right. Yes.
And it's good.
It's very good.
And I get my boys in jiu-jitsu, which is different than baseball. It's not, baseball is a physical sport, and say what you want about which is
and it's
more
unilateral.
Athletic, but you're just doing things on your own. You're hitting and you're catching, even as a team. But you do jiu-jitsu and the whole thing is you're grabbing and you're pulling, and it's kind of crazy when you first start. But they do both, and so because I learned at a later age once I started those types of sports, you do it earlier on, you get comfortable with all of that, and so it's just no big deal later. It's like the Spartans; they were warriors, they learned young. But this is what your life is. You got to be a warrior. So I teach my kids to be hopefully academic warriors. You got to study, but you got to do physical things too. Not just sports, but
that's right.
But have a good physical connection with your body.
But I think the mindset of being competitive is like, it's wonderful.
They're brothers. They're competitive no matter what.
That's fantastic.
They're just like that.
That is just fantastic because it stimulates their brain to think outside the box.
Yeah. And I'm trying to teach them
not to be a follower, but to be a leader.
Yeah, and not to get mad.
And dare to do something.
Right. Take the risk.
Yes.
Push yourself.
Yes.
But don't get upset if you lose. But like you should still do it. Because my youngest hates losing, and it's like he'll get so mad if he loses against his brother. But now they're kind of at this healthier stage where they just, hey, come on, let's both do it. They're 8 and 9.
Oh, that's
so they're just like
great
right there.
age.
Yeah, and they're always pushing each other. and they know Dad's going to push them too. So.
Yes, that's a good thing.
But Romina, it's been so great having you on this show. I think I've learned a lot.
You.
There's been some
I've
really
learned
key
so much.
things.
Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have.
Thank you.
And it's always fun. The 11th episode for sure is a special one.
I told you it's one of the most special.
Yeah. Episode 22, episode 33. We'll go in segments like that. But
we'll have like anniversaries: 22, 33, 44.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Do you have a website that you want to go over?
Oh, of course.
Anything
yes.
you want to plug for your practice?
Maybe like my Instagram page. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Let me pull it up.
Which one do you need? The activewear or the clinic?
Whatever you want to.
I think the clinic would be good because if you have any questions, you could.
Do you have an Instagram on both?
Yes.
Which it's Romina.
So it's Dr. Romina G. Dr. Romina G.
Dr.
My last name is Ghassemi.
Oh, I got it right here.
Yes.
Okay. So that's it right here.
Yep. That's it.
And that's your practice line, so
that's
they can call that number if they want to schedule an appointment.
Yes, exactly. That takes you directly to the clinic. Call, please.
Perfect.
Easier than DMing me.
And what's the other one?
The other one is BAX-U, BAX-U Active.
BAX-U Active.
Yep.
Is that it right here?
Yes, that's it. So it's a white logo with a green logo.
Make
green
sure I
logo,
follow you
yes.
there, just so people know that's the right one.
Yes. Yep, that's
cool.
it.
Awesome. Well, once again, this has been really, really fun, enlightening, and I've learned a lot. So thanks for coming on the LA Shoulder podcast.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me. You should come to my podcast.
I will. Invite me and I'll be there.
Yes. I will definitely, then we'll share it together.
Yeah,
how about that?
Good. Yeah, I'll send you some clips and stuff. So, but this should be out tomorrow, probably by Tuesday.
Awesome.
All right, folks, that's it for the LA Shoulder podcast. That's all, folks.
Bye-bye.